Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with designers Richard Launius and Daryl Lauder, and Chris Kirkman is off camera somewhere. And those three are responsible for Fate of the Elder Gods, coming from Greater Than Games with a Kickstarter in July 2016, and delivery at some point
in the future.
It's
probably going to be early 2017.
Okay.
Early 2017, yes. That's
all right. What are we doing here? I think we have seen a few Lovecraftian-based games in our time.
This is not my first Lovecraftian game, as everybody knows. So, and a lot of people out there, they've been asking, what's the difference between this and Madness at Midnight? And it's a dramatic difference, and I think there's going to be a ton of people who really enjoy this gameplay, and a ton of people who enjoy both, and I think others will pick one or the other. But
it's definitely, I mean, you're not just going to be like, well, we got Lovecraft and we got Cradle of Gods, but you could go lots of different directions.
Exactly,
so,
and I think one of the things that comes out of this is the theme. There's just so much in this universe and so many ways to approach it that we've chosen one that I think is very interesting for players, because it all started in a conversation at Unpub a little over a year ago, and 3 o'clock we're sitting around in the morning, and Daryl says, I want to do a game with you. Let's do a Lovecraftian game. I want to look at it from the cultist side and do Elder Gods, and we actually kind of late at night mapped out this idea of a fate clock. So the whole game is based on a fate clock, having different locations on it. So you've got the other worlds, you've got the museum, you've got the ceremony, you got the streets of Arkham, the gathering, and the library. All key places you find in Lovecraftian games and stories. So the idea around the game is everyone has their own cult. We've just set out a couple of them here. So the blue cult, the red cult. We're going to have beautiful miniatures for this game. These are just examples that we pulled from other things for the prototype. And then there's going to be investigators, those pesky investigators. Now, I'm usually designing games from the investigator side, so in this one, they're pesky, they're bothering us, they're chasing us, they're following us. So what players do on their turns, one of the basic ideas we had was, wouldn't it be great to have spell cards that you created this astral sign with, and then you use these spell cards to cast spells. So the backs of the spells cards have like one large icon on it. As you can see there's a comet. I've got a star here. The other side, you can see it shows the same color in the middle, so you identify and know exactly what you've got in your hand. And at the top, it's got other astral symbols. Like this one, for example, has the green, stars aligned, right? Planets aligned. And then it's got, which one is that
Blood
one?
Moon.
Blood Moon. Yeah, see, he knows all the icons better than me, because he designed them all. So if I had these astral signs out at a location, I could cast this spell. If I need a green spell there, but if I'm at this location and I have the icons at the top, then I could cast this spell, add it to my readied spells, or cast it immediately, and then the astral signs go away. And it's kind of like the whole stars align type of thing. I use the astral signs to cast my spell, and that became the basic idea we started with. So what we end up with in this process, also there's the Abyss where you've got additional ones. So the way the gameplay works is you play
out in the Abyss.
you basically play a card, and you say, and it's going to move this token, like this guy's right here, it's going to move him to wherever I played the card to. So it's going to move him to the yellow star. The minute I do that, I don't have any on my sheet, but I'm going to add one of my cultists. But every time you send a cultist to a location, they get followed by an investigator.
It's kind of like, what are you guys doing over here? What's up? You raise some suspicion.
That's right.
And for the most part, they just watch you. Okay, so we'll get to what they do when they get a bunch of them. Then they start coming at you. But on this location, it's Streets of Arkham, and the Streets of each location does something different. Streets of Arkham allows me to take 2 investigators from the pool, or if they're on my lodge, take them from there and give them to other players. So basically, I put them in their lodge, and now he's got to deal with those investigators at some point, because once they build up enough of them, they're going to attack his lodge and start trying to put elder signs on him and shut him down, okay? So there's 2 basic ways the game can be won. First one is, we're trying to summon our Elder God by moving it 9 points around our summon track. If you do that, you win the game outright. Your Elder God shows up, bad things happen in Arkham.
That's right. You're responsible for the end of the world.
You're responsible. You get that one great moment before your Elder God crushes you, okay? But it is a great moment for them at that. The other way to win is, because we don't want anybody to be out of it, we discovered, let's say if you were setting at 7 and I'm setting at 1, I don't think I'm going to beat you by summoning my Elder God. Now I'm trying to get Elder Signs on you. So if the Elder Signs go all the way around, requires 10, back to this Elder Sign piece, they have shut off your Elder God, you lose the game, and now the player is the one who has the least Elder Signs on them.
Okay.
So there's kind of a push-pull that's taking place between the players strategically.
You have to manage both situations. So if you want to move up on this, if you move up too quick, then all the other cults are going to jump on you and kind of throw Arkham your way, like, hey, check that guy out, check that guy out. So,
Okay.
So what happens in the game is, as you move around, you can do different things. So Streets of Arkham is going to let you put investigators on other people and then have them be attacked by them. The Gathering is going to let you get people out of the Abyss, add them back into your lodge so you can use them in the future, because every time you move, you have to place one out. If you don't have a cultist, you basically get an Elder Sign and then get 3 cultists and still get your turn, because nobody ever gets canceled out. At the library, you're going to draw a spell.
You could want to do.
Well,
as well, if you
right, you don't want to add them, but you got to have cultists to pull things off. So it kind of you really need to make sure that you go here and get them before you have to add Elder Signs to make that happen.
Okay.
The library, you're going to draw more spells, add more to your hand. Normally your hand's 3, but you're going to get 3 more, so you're going to go higher. It gives you a lot more ability to cast spells, more ability to go to places. Otherworld's most important place on the board. Because this is where you actually summon your Elder Gods. So when you're in the other worlds, you're going to roll dice equal to the number. Let's add 3 cultists there. You're going to roll dice equal to them. And for every tentacle that you get or Cthulhu head, you're going to go up 1 on your summon track.
You have to sacrifice your cultists.
But they die in the process of that ceremony. So the one failure that I rolled, that guy lived. He decided he didn't want to sacrifice himself, okay? He's like, I might think this over at this point. I'm not really sure I want to do this, okay? Now this is hard to get to. You either need a gate card to get to this location or 2 of a kind. Two of the same thing will move you anywhere on the board. So, but also you can't go there. This can only move to a new location, so it can't move to here if it starts its turn here.
Right.
Next location over here is Museum, great location to go to. You get artifacts, and artifacts give you ongoing powers that end up like the Necronomicon here. You get cursed with that one. Daryl, tell us what happens when you get a curse.
When you get a curse, say if I got cursed for whatever reason, Richard's to my right, so he would actually draw the curse card. I wouldn't get to see the curse.
Now I got to put my glasses on to read this. So there you go. That shows I can't. Okay, so I know now he's cursed when he has 3 cultists at a location. So at any point of the game that he has 3 of his cultists at one of these locations, I go, aha! And I trigger the curse. In this case, there may be strength in numbers, but mob often garners lots of attention. I add 3 investigators to his lodge, and they immediately raid him.
Okay.
So boom, now they fight me.
So why don't you show us what happens when they raid you?
All right, so when a raid happens, you're going to count the number of investigators you have in your lodge, and you're going to roll that number of die. So I have 5, so I'm going to roll 5 dice. And like the game with this is flipped, so typically Elder Signs have been good, now they're bad. You do not want them.
That's right. Because you're innocent.
Exactly.
You're not doing
Correct.
anything.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
So now he's fighting off the investigators.
Yep. So I have my roll 5. I've got 2 Cthulhu heads and 1 tentacle, which are really good for me, which means I'm just going to destroy 3
Crushes
investigators.
them.
My cult just wipes them off. No.
Okay.
Not so good here.
One investigator says, his last dying thing is he gives me an Elder Sign, then he goes away. Then I have the Elder Star. That investigator gives me an Elder Sign.
And he stays.
And he still has the strength to stick around to fight again.
Okay.
So now I have 2 Elder Signs up, and I only have 8 more until I lose the game. So.
Okay.
So that's the process. Every curse is different. So there's a lot of bluffing that goes on because the person to your right's holding your curses, and they're going, "Are you doing this? Are you doing that?" They might be lying what's happening, but they've got people, which is it's one of the fun pieces of the game how the people know what the curses are and you don't. Yep. So I had 3 curses on me yesterday, and they all triggered. So when we were playing. So basically, and then the ceremony. Now the ceremony location, that location lets you activate your Elder God's blessing. Every Elder God has a different blessing, and they do different things. For example, the Key in the Gate. Yogg-Sothoth lets me automatically cast a spell. I pick up any spell around the board, and I just cast it. Cthulhu is going to go someplace, crush people, wipe out investigators. Everyone does something different. They're very, very thematic and very interesting in gameplay. And there's a number of these. More of these come in the game than there'll be players, so you'll mix and match and have different games.
In the base game.
8 new base games, 4 players active. So they'll build up, and what happens as the game goes on is investigators will keep building up, and once you have a location that has 3 investigators on it, if you go there, they come to you. Okay? So if you're the next one to go there, they're going to follow you. You'll keep putting them on there. If you ever have 5 on your sheet, they're going to attack you, or if somebody goes to the streets of Arkham, they're going to attack you. So you have all these different activities going on in what I see to be a very fun, smooth game that I think a lot of people are going to like, because you can strategize, you can build up your spell power, you can watch where you want to go, you can have, I didn't talk about, but there's control. If you've got the most cultists in an area, you get a bonus action. You can get temporary control by rolling a Cthulhu head if you don't have the most control. So there's just lots of different opportunities that I feel like comes off very thematic to the players that we've seen so
Area
far.
control is unique because once you have it, so like the museum, he has control because he has 3 and more than me, like to the red. So you'd have control, but to do the control power, he'd have to sacrifice one of his cultists because it's a very powerful thing.
Okay.
So now I can jump in and take control, and it's just constant recurring control of all of them.
Okay.
So having the control right away is really nice, and then you got to build back up to that again.
Okay.
So.
All right.
And did I miss
A lot
anything?
going on. There's a deck on the side here.
Oh, this is so when you're choosing your Elder Gods in the beginning, because they're going to be double-sided.
Okay.
Like 7 Wonders, where it's like everyone gets to pick their Elder God, then you shuffle up. That's
Okay.
the first one that goes first.
You got some great player aid cards that kind of direct you on what every location does. So you can just flip to it and see the top part is what the power you automatically get. If you have control, you get the bottom power. And it's nice, 2-sided.
Right.
People get it really quick. We've got symbols on the board, but that just makes it so they can just read and know what the answer is, okay? And then we've got turn order cards also. And just
Expansion that may come with the Kickstarter campaign if
All
people
right.
watch.
Depending on how things go.
Because what's Lovecraft without monsters?
yeah. So we have the ability to provide more spells, to bring monsters onto the board also that you control, to make things just a little more interesting
Which
from
will also
time
be
to time.
miniatures, so.
All right.
So that's Fate of the Elder Gods.
Which doesn't come cheap. So. All right. Well, thanks very much for the overview of Fate of the Elder Gods.
Thank you. Appreciate it.